Wow. Obi answer for me. Me ho ani afram say ye de yako we kwasia jet. 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 Uri mo behu. Me afram say ye de yako we kwasia jet. Me afram say ye de yako we kwasia jet.
So this is the member of parliament for Asin Central. Thank you very much for the correction. And this video time at Agyapong court as a judge sitting on the case Eka say or the Mbrabia to Yankosha Sebnuma Agyapong Betina TV so insulted the judge saying he's a foolish judge or a kwasia judge. In fact, later I'll say in our language, or because it means the person can even kill you. It's a threat. Yes. Now, this judge was appointed by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is Justice Enini Yabua. So if Kennedy Agyapong tells the judge, say, oh, you're kwasia judge, you're a foolish judge, technically, indirectly, Kennedy Agyapong is telling the Chief Justice, say, oh, you're kwasia judge, oh, you're foolish judge. And this is directly to the Chief Justice and all judges in Ghana. And the Kennedy Agyapong has sat on national television to tell the Chief Justice, say, you are a foolish man in your boy. Oh, you're kwasia man in your boy. You are foolish, and I will deal with you. And it's the video. And for the Chief Justice to hear this, for other judges to hear this, for the Ghana Bar Association to hear this, and not take any action. Somebody will ask, say, can Kennedy Agyapong get any favor from the court or from the Chief Justice again? Now, Mukaisa Assem way by, and when this matter happened, Kennedy Agyapong was supposed to, he was supposed to be in court. Technically, he was supposed to even be jailed. Now, let me bring your mind back. Now, now, opuni any agongo case no koko but any hunyuga, and who Kennedy Agyapong any a year. Anas Arimiao Anas. Now let me show you something. The Opuni case, we all know what has happened to the Opuni case. Opuni has consistently proven with evidence, and I have also given even my part of the evidence on my show about how Hunyuga has been planted by the judge, the Chief Justice, to do everything possible to jail Opuni and Agongo. Proceedings in court, evidence, body language of Hunyuga, his utterances, and his style of sitting on this case clearly shows he has a job to do, and that job is simple: go and jail Opuni and Agongo, because Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that was his trump card when he wanted to have power or he wanted to win power. Today, something happened. After the first one, I said Opuni's lawyers went to the Supreme Court to put clear before the Supreme Court judges that this and this and this and that, perjury, a lot of things they put before the Supreme Court to say this judge, his conduct is basically showing clearly, and you are all judges, from Doche, the hypocritical woman who has been cursed by God, Gertrude Kutonu, Ashikote, all those the black hat woman who was dumped by Chief Justice ex-wife, and Doche himself, and all those people who sat on the case, they are Supreme Court judges who know what misconduct is. Now, these people came together at the end of the day and said, no, they don't see anything wrong, because the president has told the Chief Justice to tell us through the Attorney General, who had a meeting with Doche, that no matter what, you need to make sure Hunyuga sits on this case. That was the first one. So they pushed Hunyuga to sit on the case. Now, time has come for Opuni to open his defense. He also needs to call his witnesses to come and make a case for him. Now, in court, nobody has the right to tell a defendant or a complainant or a plaintiff, how his witnesses should enter the box. No. There is no specific way you have to number who comes to the box and who doesn't. Now, from the day Opuni started calling his witnesses, Hunyuga has insisted that Opuni gets into the box before anybody also comes into the box. And the police counsel are like, no, you cannot tell us who should enter the box. We have our witnesses. We know how to call them, in what order. Justice Hunyinga in court has insisted that Opuni enters the box before his witnesses, which shows clearly that the judge is biased. A judge who is sleeping with his subordinate, he is biased. A judge who has taken 4 cars from the Jubilee House is biased. A judge who sat in public to say the president needs 4 more because the president was going to appoint him to the Supreme Court in 2 days is biased. Now, Opuni's lawyers have said continuously that your actions, your body language, the way you are pushing the case, because Hunyinga even in court told Opuni that he's hallucinating. He's hallucinating. Technically, Hunyinga has made up his mind. No matter what, Opuni looks like a madman to him. He has made up his mind he's going to jail Opuni and Agungu no matter what. Because for a judge to sit in court and say, I am a crocodile, you are hallucinating, no matter what you do, you go to jail. You remember his judgment. So all these conducts, at a point, Hunyinga decided to let Opuni Dems and the council come to court when there was a reason for Opuni's council to also go take care of other things. But this guy says he wants to push the case through quickly. So when you go to the court right now, Hunyinga is doing everything possible to make sure he jails Opuni quickly. But it's a process. You allow the process to work. People have to call witnesses. We are talking about evidence, facts. You cannot force the facts. You cannot force the evidence. It comes together. It's like a puzzle. So why is a judge sitting in court insisting that a defendant who is Opuni or Nagongo they should mount the box first before their witnesses? It shows clearly that he knows that when the witnesses mount the box first, they will diffuse the lies of the prosecutor or the prosecution. That's the Attorney General. So all that he wanted to do was to use Opuni's case. Opuni should get in box first so that he will pick that and use that as the icing on the cake. No matter what his witnesses come to say, nobody will pay attention because he will hold that one first. But when Opuni's witnesses come first, they will be able to break the case down, show the facts before Opuni puts the icing on it. And Hunyinga is an experienced lawyer who is a liar. So he knows when that happens, people will see through him. People will see his lies. Now, case ne kosono, and Opuni counsels and said, no, this is what we are going to do. This man, we thought, after our first pleadings to the Supreme Court, he was going to change. He was going to act. He was going to be professional. Apart from all his adultery and all that his nonsense he has been doing, we thought that he was going to put it aside to protect himself, protect his wife's credibility, protect his kingdom or whatever place he's the chief, protect his family. But he is still exhibiting this ignorance, biasness in a courtroom. So Opuni's counsel says, and the ebetro akoma higher court for them to tell him to recuse himself. Now there's something that you people don't know. When you read the captions, especially City News and all the other networks, because the government is telling them what to write, they have done something majority of Ghanaians don't know. And what we saw is court dismisses Opuni's application for removal of Justice Hunyinga. This is the second time. This is the second application. Court has dismissed it. Now read the story. I'll show you something. The Criminal Court 1, remember, the Criminal Court 1 of the Accra High Court has dismissed a second application by the lawyer for the former executive director of Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Stephen Opuni, seeking the presiding judge, Clemens Hunyinga, to recuse himself from the ongoing trial of his client. That is how the news wrote it, especially sitting carry this propaganda. Now, when you read a story, the question you should be asking yourself, say, who was the judge who actually dismissed this application? Have you asked yourself? Let me show you today why Enin Boy is a dangerous man. Why he is the enemy of the state today as I speak to you. Why Enin Boy has destroyed our judiciary. Now, the judge who sat on this dismissal is Justice Hunyinga himself. Hunyinga is a person Opuni's lawyers are trying to take off the case, recuse of the case. When they filed the application, it was Hunyinga himself who made this judgment. Isn't it shocking? Nipa na yeka so onyi ne ho free case mu no. The dismissal, it was him. Omoko High Court on in a court now etna case and say they don't have any case. And then he turned around to say Opuni is trying to buy favor. We want to get rid of you. You are being biased. Your conduct shows clearly you are working for somebody. Then the Chief Justice instructs Onyuga himself to go sit on this application himself to dismiss it. This is your Ghana today. So go and read all the stories. You will never see anywhere they have mentioned the judge who sat on this dismissal. Nobody. Because it's a hack job. It's a job the Chief Justice is doing. Because they are manipulating the system, the CJ, the Attorney General. That is what they are doing. So go to City. They say they are credible. Why didn't they write the judge who dismissed this application? His name in the case, in the story. So we are in a country where we are being led by dishonest men and women. How can a judge we want him to recuse himself sit on the application? Because the obvious thing the Chief Justice wants is he still wants Onyuga to be on this case, no matter his discredit, lives, whatever. So the media in Ghana, they wrote a story and they gave them, ask City, who is the judge who dismissed this application? It was Onyuga himself. He went down there to the High Court and dismissed it. Now he's going to come back and say, I am the judge on this case. And this was put together by the Chief Justice. This is quite interesting, right? Now this same thing is what Opuni is fighting for. Say, look at the conduct of the judge and dismiss and let him recuse himself. But at this point, the Chief Justice says no. Now, let's go to today's matter. Recently, we heard 2 days ago, 3 days ago, say Kennedy Agyapong, the Chief Justice grant Kennedy Agyapong's request to have judge continue case with Anas. Now remember, Anas and Kennedy Agyapong, they have been in court for a long time. Now the reason why I'm saying that Kennedy Agyapong offered Chief Justice or Kwasiampe, you know, he has, or the Chief Justice has confirmed, they say Kennedy is or Kwasiampe, you know, Kwasiampe. The Chief Justice, through his actions today in court between Kennedy and Anas case, you know, he has shown, say, he is the fool Kennedy has been talking about. Because I didn't say Chief Justice is a fool. I didn't say Kwasiampe. I didn't tell judges that Omen Kwasiafo. But at the end of the day, Chief Justice has again come to grant Kennedy Agyapong some very weird access so that he runs away or he escapes judgment. Now, why am I saying, say, Justice Enin Yabua is Kennedy Agyapong's puddle? Or he has proven or confirmed today to Ghanaians say, or Kwasiampe na Kennedy akano. Remember, Kennedy Agyapong before election 2020, video na me boma ono, he said the judge, or Kwasia judge, or your foolish judge. He said on national television, I played it. Now after that, you know, we were all expecting, say, Kennedy made that statement, you know, the court, the Supreme Court, the judges will all come together and say, no, no, no. This guy is a member of parliament. He needs to face the law. Remember, when Muntie 3 made a statement against the Supreme Court, they were penalized. They were jailed. John Dramani Mahama was in office. Nobody interfered because it was an insult. They were journalists. This is a member of parliament who makes laws. This is a member of parliament we pay without taxes. This is a member of parliament who expects us to listen to him. He sits on national television and says, the Chief Justice, judges in Ghana, the person representing them, they are foolish. And it doesn't become news. Now, after he made that statement, something happened. The judge cited Kennedy Agyapong for contempt because in Gofo says, "I case saying because he anti one sembium na election because so na one obia person Kennedy you're cited for contempt no court." I'm going to explain that to you and send my in the case, and so for you to know that, as Kennedy said, the Chief Justice or Kwasiampe, you know, the Chief Justice has confirmed say or Kwasiampe yampa. I didn't say he's in Kwasiampe. Kennedy, and his actions today has proven Chief Justice and all those judges fools. They are stupid. Like Kennedy said, and he has actually confirmed that. Now, so Kennedy was cited for contempt for insulting a judge. Kennedy Agyapong on paper or technically was supposed to be sentenced, because insulting a judge sitting on your case, like the Muntie train, it was the same thing. So Ghanaians were expecting that Kennedy was going to be sentenced before election 2020. So we were all eager. We were watching. Now this is what happened. Kennedy Agyapong actually went to the Supreme Court and applied to the Supreme Court to prohibit Justice Wuntawuni. Do you remember that judge? He was supposed to sit on the contempt case. So Kennedy quickly, after insulting the Chief Justice and all the judges said, he would deal with them. No? He quickly, him and his counsel, they went to the Supreme Court. The same Supreme Court also, Chief Justice, he's a foolish man, he's a stupid man. No? He and his counsel went there. And what they went to do was that Justice Wuntawuni, who was going to be sitting on the contempt case, they went to tell the Supreme Court to prohibit Wuntawuni from sitting on the contempt case. Because everybody knew, so Justice Wuntawuni is a credible judge who will not take any nonsense from anybody. And the probability of him jailing Kennedy was high. It was like 99.99%. So Kennedy quickly went to the Supreme Court. He went to the Chief Justice. The same person saying the same person saying he's stupid. The same person who is the head of the judiciary in Ghana now, he insulted on national television. He quickly went there. Now, what happened there? That was when the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, they tried to convince Wunta to let Kennedy walk. But Wunta was looking at credibility and the oath he has sworn. And yet, no kura wakache nyankopon so obedi asem no to the core. Follow the principles, because Ghana for bisu the same thing. So Wunta did not budge. He did not listen to the Supreme Court. He was still sitting on the case. So something happened. Now, a panel was put together by the Chief Justice. And what was that panel? Because Kennedy has filed a certiorari. So a panel was put together by the Chief Justice to ensure that Justice Winnie Wunta was prohibited from sitting on the contempt case. So when the panel put together came out, including the Chief Justice himself, who was part of the panel, they said they have taken Wunta from the contempt case. Because remember, Kennedy did the first judge in that term. No? The judge could not sit on the case. He had to elect another judge to come and sit on the contempt case because only he did attempt. And Allah so we can check for or say I've sent warrant after Kevin Taylor. He should come before me. Win him. So what happened was the Chief Justice put together a panel. This was right before the elections. And what did the panel do? The panel at the end of the day, and who was defending Kennedy Agyapong in front of the Chief Justice, in front of the panel? The Attorney General, Godfred Yeboah-Dame. Now, Godfred Yeboah-Dame as Attorney General, we believe, say, he needs to stand up and protect the law and make sure, say, the law in Ghana works irrespective of who is in front of it. So, and clearly, it's showing a member of parliament who makes the law has gone against the law, and what we have to do is make sure he's penalized. Now, the Chief Justice put together a panel. The Attorney General goes there. They take Wunta from the case. The shocking part is the Attorney General does not contest or appeal it. He does not show any interest by telling the panel that no, we still need Wunta to prosecute Kennedy Agyapong. The Attorney General, Godfred Dame, the blackface Attorney General, the most dishonest Attorney General, looked on. Remember, Opuni the other, this was the same Attorney General standing in court and saying he wants to appeal it. Because Opuni has to go to jail. He needs to put Opuni in court, in jail. But this Kennedy Agyapong, when Attorney General Godfred Dame went there, he did not say anything. When the panel said the judge has been taken off, he folded his arm and said, good. But this same Attorney General who says he has sworn an oath, he will not die, he went to Supreme Court twice to make sure that Unyuiga is taken back to sit on the case. So you see the kind of people we are dealing with, the kind of judiciary and Attorney General's office we are dealing with. So Attorney General did not contest it. It's fine. And the Chief Justice, we thinking he was going to be matured, intelligent, and honest enough to say you have insulted a judge, act and protect judges. He technically put together a panel, including himself, and said Wunta, who is legitimate, who is honest to judge the case and put Kennedy in jail, they took Wunta off. Now the question is, why is the Attorney General not doing same for Opuni and Agongo? Why is it that today the Attorney General is rather pushing for Opuni and Agongo to be jailed. It is because it is the president and the chief justice who have come together to make this happen. The same way they came together to protect Kennedy Agyapong from going to jail. Now, what happened? Into a man for Babusa, what has happened to that case? What has happened to the case? We didn't hear anything about the case again. What happened? Was Kennedy let off? This is the biggest scandal, the biggest deal in Ghana. We need to know if the judiciary, this is what happened. The CJ now, after putting together a panel by himself, sitting in the panel and taking credible Winter off, he actually now appointed a judge called Justice Anochi Jima to go and sit on the contempt case. So Chief Justice goes in there upon the insult. Kennedy Kwasiampenyi is a foolish, stupid judge. Obia judges Supreme Court judges met. They now took Winter off and they themselves brought a judge they think can do the job for them. And his name is Justice Anochi Jima. And do you know what Anochi Jima did? Apart from the nonsense, what he did when he sat on the case was that he told Kennedy Agyapong to retract the statement, apologize, and go. You know? So that's how the case ended. That Justice Anochi Jima, when he sat on the case, said, oh, upon you telling Chief Justice Kwasiampenyi, the judge sitting there, denigrating the judge sitting on the case, insulting all judges, insulting myself, Anochi, so, also where John, he sat there and said, Kennedy, he tapped Kennedy's arm and said, you know what, retract, apologize, and go. So that is how that case ended. Under Chief Justice Enini Yeboah. So that case now, that is how it ended. Kennedy was told to retract. Oh, I will not say that again. I apologize. Walk. But when John Mahama was in power, even journalists, people thought that was doing work for the party in power. Mahama looked on for them to be jailed after he tried to pardon them. You see the difference between Akufo-Addo and these criminals? You see the difference between, Mahama and these criminals? This is a cartel. So that case, this judge, Justice Anochi Jima, told Kennedy to retract and walk into technically, the Chief Justice, that Anochi Jima who was sitting in front of Kennedy, from Kennedy his own mouth. They are stupid. Today, our Chief Justice, Kwasiampenyi, and the Member of Parliament said that to him. And he is still pampering the Member of Parliament. He is trying taking judges off to protect the Member of Parliament, who is Kennedy Agyapong. Now let's come to Anas Arimyao Anas against Kennedy Agyapong in court. Now, Anas Arimyao Anas and Kennedy Agyapong have been in court since 2018 or so. Now, case in the starting, there was a judge sitting on the case, and it's a defamation case. What happened was that judge along the way was changed, and a new judge was brought in. Now, this case, you have afraid witnesses, you have afraid defendant, you have afraid plaintiff. Just say, you have afraid Kennedy or boxing. He has messed up in box. He has said things, inconsistent things. He could not prove the things he said about Anas. This is the same Kennedy who sat on TV and say, Anas, technically, Kobe Kuno. That is what that means. Kennedy has said things. Ultimately point to say, this is Ahmed Swale's boys and Anas' boys. We will take care of them. It's a video. We have it. So in court, we have been in court all these years, and this new judge they placed on the case, has been on this case. Now it is left with a week or 2 or 3 for this case, the judgment to come out. Yes, because Kennedy, his lawyers and himself, they have got to the point where Omo will say, they have lost the case. He is definitely going to be found guilty. Now suddenly something has happened. What has happened? And it's the same Chief Justice Enini Yeboah Kennedy. He's a fool, He has endorsed Kennedy's words before, and he has endorsed it today. Say, we should officially see him as a fool. Enini Yeboah. We should see him as a foolish man, as a stupid man. I didn't say it. It came from Kennedy Agyapong. Now, something has happened in the Anas case. When you read here, CJ grants Ken Agyapong's request to have judge continue case with Anas. Now, on any day or in any day, this is a normal thing the CJ does. Obetuma change judge, obetuma say it happens. And na case where jina court man, the new judge no betina so no. What cases so I interrogating me witnesses about boxing. Aka a few weeks for the judgment to come out. Kennedy goes to the Chief Justice. And what does he go do? Nobody knows what he goes to do there. And it is working like the same way. And yet Godfrey Dami went to see Doche in his office. When I told Ghanaians they said I was lying, they themselves, they came to court, they admitted. He went to see Doche, the Attorney General who is prosecuting Opuni and Agongo, went behind the scenes without the other party to see Doche. This time, Kennedy Agyapong and his lawyers went behind the scenes to go see the Chief Justice. You see, the similarity is the same. Their play, their game plan is just the same. Now, when Kennedy Agyapong went behind to go see the Chief Justice, you expect a Chief Justice, on your kwasiampenyi like Kennedy said, on your foolish man like Kennedy said, to be a Chief Justice for everybody and to ask, why are you coming to see me alone without the other party? That is how a legitimate, intelligent, credible Chief Justice works. Now see this. This letter is a letter that the Chief Justice, after Kennedy knew that he was going to be jailed, he's lost the case, wrote to the court. And remember, every single word in this letter, the counsel or Anas side did not have an idea. But Kennedy and his lawyers had written without the plaintiff not having an idea. The counsel, even the judge who was sitting on the case, did not know this is happening. Now let us read it and see. Eninyabwa is dangerous. Kennedy says he's a fool and he has endorsed it. Now this is what the Chief Justice wrote to the court. His Lordship, Justice Eric Ba, he said petition. No, in fact, this is what this is the petition Kennedy they wrote to the Chief Justice. Petition for an order for Justice Eric Ba to continue and complete part head case instituted Anas Arimia Anas versus Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, suit number blah 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 blah. Now this is the reply for the Chief Justice. I write with reference to the above mentioned petition to the Chief Justice dated 19. You are hereby directed to continue hearing the above mentioned case to finality. Now this is what the Chief Justice wrote to the old judge who was sitting on the case, who was taken off, to come back. And that new judge who has sat on the case the whole year, all these years, the Chief Justice, without hearing the Anas counsel and their part, he straightforward says, yes, but he judge in a free, so old judge now Kennedy is asking for no should come. Abra, it is like a week or two for the case to end, for Kennedy to be jailed, you know. Now, Kennedy goes behind the scenes and goes to the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice grants it without the other party even knowing. Now, Akobeka said no problem. Do you know that that old judge called Eric Ba did not even know about that? The other part did not know this decision. The old judge that the Chief Justice is saying he should now come and take over the case. Do you know that Eric Ba judge, he did not even know that Anas's counsel, the Anas people, they did not even know about this. It was in court that judge came to know about this. This is Chief Justice Eninyabwa. Now, in court, when the judge came to court, this was his statement. This was what the judge said in court. And that you could hear that the judge was even shocked that the Chief Justice would take such a decision, because the Chief Justice is setting a trap. He's putting this guy's life, his credibility on the line. But on interest, he's making somebody go take the fall. And this is the same Kennedy who said the Chief Justice is a fool. All judges are fools. They are stupid people. He threatened them. This is what the judge said. Justice Eric Ba, this was when he came to court, because he was just told, go to this court and go and sit in this case. He's like, what? Justice Eric Ba, JA, sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, began the case before I was replaced by a substantive judge at GJ2. I left this case, which was and still is a part head. I, however, received a directive from the Honorable Chief Justice on the 27th of October 2021, by which I was directed to continue the case to its conclusion. He goes on to say this: the directive appears to be based on a petition to the effect by counsel for defendant, and the defendant is Kennedy Agyapong, on behalf of the defendant. A copy of the petition is attached to this directive. It was expected that the plaintiff, and the plaintiff is who? Anas Arimyao Anas, the plaintiff or his counsel would be served a copy of the petition and the directive. That appears not to have been the case. Now he goes on to say this: a photocopy of the directive is on the docket of the court. Plaintiff's counsel may apply to the registrar for a copy. Ghana is a shithole ampa. Ghana is one stupid shithole country under this Chief Justice. Finally, he says, at the prayer of counsel for defendant, the suit is adjourned to the 2nd of December 2021 at 9 a.m. prompt for continuation of cross-examination of defendant. So when they wrote this letter behind everybody to the Chief Justice, Kennedy was still in the box. They were cross-examined. And because the Chief Justice is not somebody who is not credible, he did not even question what about the other part, because there are two parties in this case. He goes ahead and grants it without even the other the plaintiff, his counsels, not even knowing about it. This judge self did not know that the counsel of the plaintiff, that is Anas lawyers, did not even have an idea that the Chief Justice has directed, because Kennedy's lawyers, in the middle of the case, Kennedy was being cross-examined, he's fumbling, lying, had granted this. Does this make sense to you Ghanaians? Is this not madness? This is sad. And this is the same thing they are doing to Oponi. And this is the same thing Chief Justice Eniyambo has been doing from day one. What a terrible judge. What a despicable Chief Justice. Why do you do this? What do you get? The man you are even protecting here and trying to take out of his crime has said that you are a fool. Kennedy Agyapong sat on TV to say, you are a fool. Your judges are fools. You appointed them. But on a normal day, why will a Chief Justice who knows the law, who is the creme de la creme, why will he flout the law blurely, like openly, to protect somebody? Ask yourself why. Do we have a judiciary that is competent? Do we have a Chief Justice we can trust? He is the enemy of the state. He is a fool to Kennedy. He has confirmed that Kennedy Kasa, he's a fool. He is an idiot. He's stupid. No, it is clear. So the Chief Justice has technically endorsed that statement that he's a fool. Do you know that a Frifa or JDOM, the General Legal Counsel case now, or a Frifa, the court, no? Do you know the Chief Justice has instructed that they should dismiss the case? Do you know? It was dismissed yesterday. It is the $5 million scandal we have been asking him all these years. $5 million scandal or JDOM, a Frifa, a candy or JDOM catches the Chief Justice Giscano. Chief Justice has instructed the court to dismiss it. This is a Chief Justice who acts like a cartel king. He's a cartel boss. A Chief Justice who acts like he's God on earth. No respect for the law. No respect for the people. No respect for anybody. He accepts he's a fool because a member of parliament has told him in the face that you were a fool, and he went on to take Winter off to make that guy walk. Now he has come back again. The person who told him he's a fool and his judges are fools, he's again has done the illegality to protect that same person calling him a fool. So what makes the Chief Justice a fool? Because he has admitted and he has done an illegality to protect somebody calling him a fool. So we have a foolish Chief Justice. So this is what is happening in Ghana today. under Chief Justice Enini Yabua. This is the man who was supposed to come in and protect our judiciary. This is the man who was supposed to come in and make sure the right thing is done. This guy is a cartel chief. That is why some people are calling him the thief justice. Who on earth will say you have credibility? There are two parties in court. You make a decision without even knowing what the other party feels, what their opposition is. Even the judge coming to sit on the case again does not know what actually happened. You are a criminal chief justice. Your actions are illegal. Who are you there to serve? Are you there to serve politicians? We keep saying, even a $5 million case, you have not responded. It is still hanging on your neck. And there are other ones. What kind of chief justice is this? This is the lowest point of our judiciary. You are the same person who sits in Ghana and tell us we cannot use birth certificate. You are the same chief justice who presides over an election petition and say we should go to the UK and go take some stupid black book to decide who becomes president. You are the same chief justice who stops a criminal EC boss, a before to say Jemensa, from entering the box for us to know who won the election. As we sit here, because of you, we don't know what number Nana got and what number Mahama got. You are one person. You are a disgrace. You are the epitome of criminality. You don't respect the rules and nobody should respect you. Why are you like this? Why are you turning the judiciary into some porn game, into some stupid kids game? This is serious business. Everything you do today, it has consequences in the future. What kind of chief justice are you?